Q&A video. So obviously with all of us being stuck indoors because of the whole UK lockdown COVID-19 situation at the moment, we took to our Instagram and basically got you guys to ask us some questions that you had maybe about the clothing or the team and stuff like that, which we're going to answer in this video. Just to start off, this video has been filmed in 2 parts. So I shot some this evening and then I'm shooting the rest tomorrow morning just because I've got a lot to do, not just for the brand but just at home and personal as well. Over to Instagram. So question number 1 is worst injuries. So I'm filming this video on my own, so I can't speak on the behalf of the other boys, but my worst injury was definitely when I broke my ankle a couple years ago. If I've still got the clip, I'll insert it here. But I basically tried doing a Kong front, put way too much power into it and ended up breaking my ankle. I know some of the other boys have struggled with like broken toes or shin splints and stuff like that in the past, but thankfully at the moment none of them have really done anything too bad and they're all still performing at quite a good level. I have to be a little bit more careful now because my knees and stuff are slightly giving way, but I'm actively trying to like condition and do more weightlifting and stuff to try and combat that problem. How long have you been training for? I've been training nearly 8 years now. I've been training the longest out of anyone in Contendunt. Obviously I'm a lot older. Oliver first came to classes at Crawley Parkour probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and he's been training properly outside probably the last like sort of year and a half, 2 years. Harry probably about the same sort of time, 2 years. George probably 2 years as well, so you know the rest of them probably got 2 or 3 years experience. I've got 8 years, so I've got quite a long time in front of them. My leg pains won't go, although I've been trying to heal them for about a year. Any tips on recovery? What I would say is definitely rest is important. Are you stretching properly after your sessions? Are you dedicating maybe like half hour after your sessions to try and stretch out? You know, that's quite a good way to keep like the joints and all the everything working properly. Rest as well, you know, you got to make sure you're resting. Have a hot bath or a hot shower afterwards. Make sure you're eating enough protein. I've noticed recently a lot of people suffer from like protein deficiencies. They're not getting enough protein into their body to kind of help with that muscle recovery. But there's obviously loads of other issues as well. What I would recommend is maybe going to see like a physio or seeing a doctor or something like that. But if you're young, sometimes you're like kind of growth. If you're kind of in that age range between like 13 to 15, your body's still going through a lot of changes. Maybe just adapt your training style a little bit. Maybe just start lessening the impact slightly, trying to work more on your technique, and then start building the impact when you can start weightlifting and start building more strength. Obviously your muscles want to be taking that impact and stuff like that, but you need to build those muscles up. They're not going to do it naturally. This is something that I wish I'd kind of done a little bit more when I first started training. Obviously, like I said previously, my knees were giving up at one point. I've started strengthening them now and I'm having nowhere near as many problems. So definitely strength training, rest, make sure you get the right foods in your diet, etc. Coming London, we want to do a London trip pretty soon. The boys were doing their GCSEs. Obviously now that's a bit of a sensitive topic, so yeah, London is definitely on the cards. I've got a couple locations in mind that I want to shoot at. I don't think any videos have been shot there previously. There's some really good locations there, so London is definitely on the cards. Are you all looking for brand ambassadors? So at the moment, we obviously have the 3 sponsored athletes and myself. We're all heavily invested in the brand. Ambassador-wise, potentially. It's not a yes or no at this moment. If we were to sponsor anyone else, they'd have to click with the team really well. Because the boys are in their final year at school, I didn't really want to go and sponsor anyone kind of further afield, simply because I want everyone in the team to kind of get along really well. You know, we want to have that friendship kind of vibe, you know, otherwise the whole team kind of falls apart. So maybe in the next few months we might bring on more sponsors. In terms of ambassadors, I would love people to be representing the clothing and sort of endorsing it without necessarily being a sponsored athlete. So that is potentially something we'd like to do in the future, when the brand's probably a little bit more financially stable. What part of parkour do you enjoy the most? Jumps, flips, vaults or climbs? So again, I can't speak for the rest of the other boys. I know Oliver really loves his flowy routes. Harry's really going down the kind of side flip precision route. He's got quite a nice, almost like skater-esque kind of style to him. And George really enjoys his big precisions, like insert clip here, for example. For me, I was really enjoying power moves, but now I'm kind of getting more into like the connecting movements together. I've been doing a lot of thinking this whole time that I've been sat indoors, and I've really wanted to start kind of piecing together lines. I've got a list in this notebook, and that's got all my line ideas and movement ideas, etc. in it. So yeah, stay tuned for that, but it was power moves and it's now kind of more stringing movements together, I guess. What was your inspiration behind the logo? So this is kind of a bit of a difficult one to answer. We obviously had the original logo, which I'll slap up here, for example. And then we did the first range with that. And then we released our second logo, which was very similar to another parkour team. But, you know, the idea with our logo is going to change drastically with every drop. So we did obviously the winter logo collection, and we now have another 4-piece collection coming very, very soon that uses this logo. But this logo is not forever. So where it is similar, each kind of release has a theme. So originally it was just the basic logo, and then we wanted to step into a bit more of like the rugged, muted coloured streetwear, and we felt that this logo sat very appropriately with what we wanted to produce. We've got the winter range currently being designed. If you've got a sharp eye, you might have seen some pieces already on the social media, and the logo will be changing very, very slightly then, with kind of more type forms and stuff like that. So each logo is kind of temporary, just kind of what we feel would go best with the collection that we're releasing in that kind of 6-month period. So eventually we will get an emblem and stuff like that, but at the moment the text logos are kind of what we feel goes best with the collection that we're releasing. Favourite parkour spot. So my favourite parkour spot of all time, actually I've got two. So the first one's in my hometown of Horsham. It is Subway. I've trained there nearly 8 years, and every time I go there's still new challenges that I always feel really help me progress, and it's just a really nice kind of spot to get creative at. The second favourite spot that I've got of all time is Cathedral in Evory. I definitely want to go back there. You know, one of the birthplaces of parkour. I want to go back and really, really utilise the kind of setup that there was. There's just a whole load of challenges that you can really do. So the next question is favourite line you've ever done. I'm going to have to trawl through the videos that I've got on my laptop, but if I find it I will put it here for you. Scariest thing to overcome and how to. So I think anytime you're kind of pushing something that you've trying to progress, so maybe it's a bigger jump or the landing's a little bit more technical and stuff like that, you just need to kind of sit there and trust in your ability. If you don't think you're ready to go for the jump, then don't do it, because that whole time you're going to have that the whole time you do it, you're going to have that thing in the back of your mind that's telling you not to do it, and things can go wrong. So basically, if you're not ready to commit to it, then don't go for it. You need to make sure you're 100% ready. Something will just click and you'll go like, right, okay, cool. And all kind of insecurities and stuff will go away and you'll be able to complete the challenge without any problems. 3 of your favourite cities to train in: Brighton, Guildford and Paris. What inspired you to make a parkour team? So I love parkour, and I don't really want to do anything else in my life, really. So I set up a clothing brand because I feel like it's a really good way to help parkour grow, and putting the team together just kind of fell naturally with that. I want to help support younger athletes being able to do what they want to do, and with the clothing brand kicking off and stuff like that, eventually I want to be able to give them jobs and help them do things that I used to do. So where I've done promotional jobs and performances and stuff in the past, I want to be that guy that helps them get those jobs. I've obviously got a few contacts and stuff in the industry now that I know that I can sort out a little bit of work for them. So the idea of our team is kind of to produce really good content for you guys, go travelling with parkour, and basically just help grow the culture, but at the same time as give these athletes job opportunities to do parkour work in the future. Thank you very much for watching this video. That was our Q&A here with me. Obviously the other boys aren't here, so if you liked it, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you can get notified every time we make a new video. At the moment, with the whole situation, we're going to try and keep content flowing as much as possible, but it is going to be a little bit difficult. So thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.